Feel to the Real listeners, don't forget to check out the I Care Too Much podcast with our very own Jarrett, the football genius Burgess, a.k.a. Jethro, and his co-host, LT, as they cover a myriad of topics that will have you in deep thought or laughing uncontrollably. You can catch them on Anchor Podcast, Spotify Podcast, or Apple Podcast.
We going live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Oh gosh.
So, to jump into who's really right.
Yeah.
We had this conversation yesterday, and for the fans out there who are listening, we do a production meeting every week, usually 2 days before we record, but because of various stuff, sometimes it's the day before or whenever.
Right. We get it done.
We prepare.
Right.
So
we get it done.
I told you a little bit about this story, and for those of you who don't know, Monday was the finals game, Game 5, and unfortunately, Kevin Durant went down with an apparent Achilles injury.
Yeah, y'all, I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
I'm heartbroken.
You guys know how much
That's my favorite player, and I'm just heartbroken that like his mom was on Good Morning America this morning. And I was literally tearing up listening to her talk. Because I know
you could hear it in her voice.
like he hurting.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Like, she's such a mama. Like, she don't want nobody to talk bad about her baby.
She was like, I was so concentrating on him that I didn't even know they were booing. And so it was just, anyway, I'm off topic. Sorry. It's just, I'm emotional about him. Right. I can say that because this is really sad.
We're going to talk a little bit about him, later.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting. One of the members of the media asked Boogie Cousins at the end of the game.
Why are you talking to Boogie?
Right. I don't know why y'all be talking to Boogie. Y'all know y'all
gonna get y'all you better go
get y'all a good sound bite. Y'all dirty.
Okay, you know what you're doing.
So they asked him about the fans booing when KD got injured.
Yeah.
And he called the fans of Toronto trash.
Yeah.
And he had said something that to the effect of, these people don't even look at us as human.
Yeah.
And so when I introduced this topic to you, you were like, you showed us the hill you want to die on?
Right. I'm just saying.
But I feel like my stance to you, while you disagreed,
vehemently.
Right.
Yes.
It wasn't, I don't think it was typical.
But what's the question?
Okay, let's stop the question.
Yeah.
Are basketball players human?
Are they human?
Yeah.
Are they human?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the question, y'all. Let us be clear that we know they're human. We're not watching Martians play basketball.
Yeah. So I mean, the question in those terms are obvious. Of course, they're human, but from a philosophical standpoint,
are they seen as
human?
Yeah.
And are they,
are they treated humane?
Are they treated humane? Okay.
Yes.
So, would you like me to start with this one?
Of course.
Why?
Just go ahead. Of course.
Okay, so
we're gonna clean this up when you're done. Let's go.
So my point to this was, I felt like Boogie was a bit too much in his feelings, right? Mm-hmm. Now, in all fairness, of course, everybody should be treated as human, and everybody should be treated humanely. That's not my argument here. That's not what I'm arguing for. But in the same token, I think Boogie needs to look at the arena that he's in, no pun intended, to understand why, in the context of a basketball game, he's not looked at as, what's his first name?
Oh, DeMarcus?
DeMarcus.
Oh, like, wait,
forgot
what? Wow, because you're
I've been calling
him
him Boogie. Yeah, you know, I've been calling him Boogie ever since he
what? Yeah,
ever since he was in college.
All right.
You're not looked at as DeMarcus Cousins. You're looked at as Boogie, as number 0 for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And so, from a fan's perspective, you know, I'm a Wizards fan.
Yes, we know.
You know, and
we know.
I'm a Wizards fan, and so when I'm watching a Wizards game, I'm watching as a fan of the Wizards.
Okay.
And when we're playing against a team, I want my team to win.
Of course.
And so, in the context of them being on the floor and playing a basketball game, I am solely focused on my team winning.
Okay.
In those moments where things happen on the court, where, you know, somebody gets injured, my first thought isn't like, oh, somebody from the other team got injured. Like,
oh, Lord. Okay.
you know, I hope that, you know, everything is okay with them. That's not my first thought.
Okay.
Now, after I review it and I see what happens to them, like, obviously I'm like, man, I hope they're not seriously injured. And especially in the case of KD, we all know how I feel about the Warriors. But we also know that KD's from the DMV. Oh my gosh. And the love that I have for my area.
Anything, all and anything.
DC or nothing.
Yes.
But in anytime somebody goes down, and we've been paying very close attention to KD's injury. So when he went down, and you know, I didn't see it in real time,
you fell asleep. Yeah.
I missed the game.
It was being an old man.
Yeah, man. So, so when I saw it, I woke up at like 3:00 in the morning, and I saw the clip. Like, my heart sank. Right. Yeah. But as a Raptors fan, I can understand not cheering KD's injury, but cheering the idea that, and when you first see somebody go down, you don't know the extent of their injury, right? True. And so, as a fan, I'm sure in some of the minds of the people, I can't speak for everybody, but in the mind of some of the fans, they're like, we ain't got to deal with him no more I don't know how long he's going to be out, but we ain't got to deal with him no more because up until that point, he was lighting them up.
Snapping.
11 points in 12 minutes? Oh, my gosh.
Back to one of our other.
We got to get my goat back in this.
Whatever.
I got to get my goat back in these.
Yeah, y'all understand what I'm saying. I was really right.
Yeah, now they needed every bit of those 11 points.
11 points was,
yeah, they was crucial.
Yes.
But I think that Boogie is being a little sensitive and thinking about the idea that in the context of the game of basketball, we are to look at these players as human. Now, obviously, especially with me being a former athlete, I don't want to be looked at as not being human, but I understand in the context of, you know, a game or battle and you're on the opposite team or you're a fan of the opposite team, like, you don't necessarily care about me as a human, as a person. Okay. You know.
That escapes me, but okay.
Or just in the context of the game.
No, it escapes me. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yes.
I can just say I understand.
It's not in my DNA. I'm not wired like that. I'm sorry. But okay. I mean, obviously, on so many occasions we've seen how fans can take it to the next level with their passion about their team or just the idea of winning. I think for a lot of people, they live vicariously through what's going on the court, on the field, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever they're a fan of, they're living vicariously through the people that they're cheering on, and they kind of get a little adrenaline rush, and they get a little crazy. Even when we were talking about this yesterday, I said, I get that with the adrenaline rush, sometimes you can say or do things, and then once you calm down, you're like, oh my God, I said or did. It's almost like being inebriated.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the same kind of where you are chemically.
Right.
When you got that much adrenaline pumping. You know what I mean? So you just kind of, anything fly out your mouth. Right. Or you'll do anything when you're in that state. But I feel like on a very basic level, nonetheless, you know that person is a human being.
Right.
So for me, I went to social media because I was really angry.
Right.
About the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And while I think some of it got misconstrued because some of those fans were cheering because of the steal.
Right.
When he went down, he just let the ball. He just stopped and the ball just dropped out his hand because he was hurt. And so they were cheering that.
Right.
But let's be clear.
There were some fans.
Those fans that were showing that were behind that basket over there, waving and carrying on, like, yeah, y'all trash. Right. I'm sorry. Yes, you are. And it's wrong on so many levels. And I understand DeMarcus. Since we're going to talk about it like that, I understand the DeMarcus, the human being, and his sensitivity. We talked about this part too. He has been in this place for a long time when he played with the Kings.
Right. He's
always felt like, I mean, it's almost like they're a commodity. Like they're not human. They're not real. We don't have feelings. We don't have, you know what I mean? Right. His whole gripe is, why is it that they get to say anything and everything or conduct themselves in such horrible manner, and we gotta just suck it up and deal with it like we don't have feelings?
Well, I think from that point we're talking about two different things, right? Now, I'm never saying that like.
But that's where he's personal about it now.
Right. Well, even for him, like those are two different things. Like the guy who said what he said to Russ, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Definitely intolerable.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying from the basic standpoint of being a fan and you're watching the game and you're in the game and you're locked in.
But cheering somebody's livelihood being possibly gone. It's just crazy to me.
That's a different thing. Like cheering somebody's livelihood is different than you thinking about in that moment, we ain't got to deal with this guy anymore. Now we know now that it's a serious injury, but when somebody just falls down on the floor,
but it's KD.
Right.
Y'all think he just I got a cramp in my leg. That's you already know.
Well, that's possible, but no, but
he wouldn't have done that.
In fairness, the Golden State Warriors said it was his calf.
Well, they didn't know at the time. They didn't know.
We're going to get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But
anyway.
I don't think that you're like really thinking that deeply about it in the moment as a fan.
Sorry, I'm very cerebral. And so I'm very cerebral. And so I'm always thinking deeply. Let's start there. But I am so compassionate for people. Mm-hmm. So for me, I can't even if I want my team to win so bad, I cannot be like, whoo, about somebody else's demise or their hurt. I can't. It's just not in me. And that could just be me. I might be the worst fan ever.
I wouldn't say that.
But
that's a great quality to have. I think the reason why I kind of understand, I play football.
Yeah.
And when I hit your quarterback, I'm trying to knock him out of the game.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, if I do some damage to him and he has a career-ending injury, I'm compassionate about it. But in the moment, like I think,
but you're on the field. You're doing your job.
Right, but
that's different.
I mean, but you carry that into fandom.
No, but see, average fan have never played and don't know what you're going through. So you can't look at it like that because they don't feel like you feel because they didn't experience the competition like you did. I told you they're living vicariously through these people.
That's true. Why they may not have experienced the same thing that I've experienced. They could still have that same feeling of, okay, if your best player is gone.
Yes, no.
In the moment, I'm not thinking, if your best player is gone. Oh, I said KD is their best player. I just said he's white out.
Oh,
they don't necessarily need him. They have an embarrassment of talent.
Okay.
They have.
Okay. Yes. Anyway,
Oh, Lord.
continue.
Actually, no. Steph's their best player.
Oh, see. Don't go there. Anyway, yes.
No. Let me go back into the argument that I was like kind of making with you yesterday. So yesterday, one of the things that I said is, let's not act like, and I'm talking to Boogie now, let's not act like that this fan-player relationship isn't transactional. Mm-hmm. You know, if I see you out in the street, DeMarcus, you are a human being. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And while I may not be a fan, well, I know I'm the type of fan where even if you're not on my team, if I see you, I'm gonna show love and respect.
Yeah, well, listen, people.
I would even dap up Tom Brady. You know how much I hate the Patriots. Patriot talk.
You see me? I'm thinking like,
you're not gonna dap up Tom Brady?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Now let me ask. Oh, so this is a good one. Okay. Let me ask you this question. So we know that the Falcons played the Patriots in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Don't bring that up.
Yeah, no, I got to.
Oh.
Only for the purposes of my argument.
Okay.
So, now, Tack McKinley wasn't on the team then.
It don't matter. Just it's a hypothetical anyway.
Hypothetically, Grady Jarrett comes around the corner and he hits Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is slow to get up. Is your first thought compassion for Tom Brady, or are you excited and celebrating the fact that Grady Jarrett put
is Tom Brady getting up?
He may be slow to get up.
Slow to get up versus so I'm gonna be like, ooh, good hit if he gets up. Me honestly, even in the first reaction probably would be ooh, cause that. But I'm not going to continue on that. When I see somebody and they still laying there, like, oh my God.
All right, so that right there, just that initial, that's my point. When KD goes down, we don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah. We
just see that your player is about to be out the game, and he's your best player.
See, but that ain't the logic that I would have thought about, even for Tom Brady.
But
even for Tom Brady.
Really?
No. It would not have been my logic, though.
It's important to say, and I won't say this, it was all of them, but the Raptors changed their tune after they realized that this was a serious injury.
Absolutely. Listen, he might not be one of your favorite people.
Who,
Kyle Lowry. But he stepped up. Him and Serge. They both stepped up, and I appreciate that. Like, y'all stop that. Whoever's doing it, stop it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was true and genuine concern
for
their brother. And like even Mom said it this morning on Good Morning America. She was like, "This like two of my other sons."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I just might be wired strangely. I don't know, because even if it was Tom Brady, I wouldn't have been like, whoo, they done knocked them out the game. We ain't got to worry about them. I wouldn't think like that. I'd be like, man, I hate that for him. But, I mean, good for my team that we might keep going, but not that he out of the game. I just can't.
Right.
I can't wrap my head around being okay with cheering on somebody else's pain. I just can't.
I think this is important to say because of the side that I'm arguing.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I think that players are human.
Yeah.
I care very much about what players do off of the field, court,
whatever they
playing
play
surface.
For. Yeah.
And so, that's not the thing that I'm arguing here. And while the question was prefaced, are
they human?
Are players human?
Yeah.
That's not necessarily what I'm arguing. I'm arguing kind of the crux of the point that Boogie was making.
No, I get it. I get it. And you say you're too sensitive.
Yeah. I think you have to think about this like in retrospect. We can all look at what happened and say the Raptors fans are disgusting. Mm-hmm. But you don't know in that moment, like, KD's down, he's seriously injured. This may be a career altering injury. And Lord, as much as I hate the Warriors, I want him to stay with the Warriors now because I feel like this is the best financial decision for him to make at the moment. I would never. I hope he comes back 100%, even better than he was, because I know what that type of injury can do to you. Shout out to Dominique Wilkins, because he's probably one of the only people who ever came back from that injury and still had the level of athleticism before he left.
Yeah.
But I don't think that as a fan you're thinking about that in that moment. I think it was good to see though, and this is why I think time for processing is definitely important. And if I can tell you one thing, if he was playing in Philadelphia,
oh yeah, you said that it would have all of them would have been up. We gonna continue to cheer. Right. I don't care what they say.
Even when you walking off the floor,
right.
The Raptors fans actually changed their tune.
They did.
And they started chanting KD's name as he was walking off the field. Once I think after you saw Drake and his reaction.
Man, I thought, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, well, but he sets the tone.
Yeah.
And so for him, he was devastated. Yeah. Like, I was like, well, Drake, baby.
He understands.
The severity of what.
The average basketball fan doesn't know.
Right. They don't see anything. So it doesn't look, he got up, he walked.
Right.
You didn't see, it isn't like Gordon Hayward's injury.
Right, when you see leg broke.
Or you see Paul George legs sticking out of his skin. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like those types of things are a little too, you know what I mean? People. That's when people are like, oh. But because you got up, you walked, you know what I mean? You can't see an Achilles injury.
Right.
So it doesn't feel as severe to people. Right. But I still, But Drake, I was like, okay, Drake.
Yeah.
Like, Drake was feeling like I was at that point. If I had been, I was like, oh my God,
So even with Drake being a troll, he still has KD's number tattooed on his body, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He knows. He knows he's one of the best to do it. Period. It's just the smoothest game ever. I'm sorry, man. Even in them few minutes he got to play, it was like, boosh. I was like, this dude is so smooth. I just love his game.
And on that note, let's transition into...
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's right. No.
Yes.
Because I want you to continue to talk about his game.
Man.
But we're going to talk about his game in the context of what ultimately happened to him.
Y'all let us know who's really right. That was the end of it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, so my point before that was, I'll concede this who's really right, only because I know my opinion on this matter isn't popular, but because I know it kind of sounds like I'm saying that the players aren't human, and that's not really what I'm saying.
I know that's not. I know that, but I do get your point about the fans. But we can transition. I just want to make sure we say, y'all tell us who you think is really. Even though he's conceding, y'all still say give your opinion.
I mean, I can still win. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
can hope.
I'm just not going to be confident about it. Are you a part of a college football program? Is your program preparing you for what you are purposed to do when football is over? No worries. We have you covered. The Field to the Real project assists college athletes in discovering purpose off the field. Contact us at fieldtothereal@gmail.com to schedule a meeting with the administrators of your school's football program. Let's work on your future as you go from the field to the real.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.